Gone Fishkin is live on idobi Radio.
That was When the Music Stops by Jxdn, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm so excited right now to have someone I am not only a fan of, honored to be a friend of, might be brothers with, not only one of my favorite singers, one of my favorite songwriters, and just overall one of the dopest people I've met in the last 5 years. We have Jxdn in studio with me right now. What's up?
Yay! We are friends, and we could be blood brothers, you know? I don't know.
We might have to do 23andMe right after this.
We did. Dude, I did the DNA thing. I didn't find out who I was related to, but to see, like, you know, what my ethnicity is or my nationality, I'm just the whitest person I've ever met in my life. I was so disappointed, dude. I literally thought that I thought I had some fun in me, but no, I don't. I'm just straight from fucking Sweden or some shit. It's crazy. I was really let down.
I mean, that explains the hooks, though.
Yeah, it's straight from Sweden, bro, honestly.
Exactly. Hell yeah. And we just played the title track off of your sophomore record. And, dude, it's awesome to say your sophomore record is coming out.
Finally. Yes, it feels great to hear it also. You know, I don't know. It's been a long time. I didn't think it was going to happen at one point, so it's cool that everything's done. And not only just, like, done, but we're in the process of rolling it out. That's the best feeling, too.
That's awesome. And, I mean, the reception to it's been incredible. And you dropped When the Music Stops, you originally dropped it under Jxdn Hostler. You went back to your name, Jxdn, as well. Well, they're both your name. You went back to Jxdn, I should say.
Yeah, that was a funny thing because I put out Chrome Hearted, right? And
Chrome Hearted, sorry.
I put out Chrome Hearted, and I changed it, and I was going through a lot. I'm human, right? I'm not a dog, even though I wish I was a dog. And I put out the song, and I went to South America, and to Brazil, and I saw all my fans, and something just clicked to me, and I was like, oh my God, I made a massive mistake. Like, I'm just being manic. Like, that's what I realized. Like, oh, I'm just being, like, crazy. And so I called my management team, and my label. I was like, yo, I'm changing my name back again. And they were like, no, you're not. And I was like, oops. Yes, I am. So thankful to them and everybody who's been supportive of the in and out process. But yeah, Jxdn, we're here. We're here to stay. Unless I change it again. No, I'm just
oh, man. Hey, either way, the music's still there.
It's there.
Yeah.
Finally.
So now speaking of the music, between your debut record and your sophomore record, you've done a fuck ton. Mm-hmm. And it's like not on a body of work per se. Like you had a handful of songs you dropped as singles, which were incredible. Some of my favorite songs by you, honestly. And then you had that Millennium track that took on a life of its own. And then, I don't know, I see a little video of you playing it at a sold-out SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. That was crazy for me because I've been lucky enough to, like, jump into this with really awesome people, right? My first tour was MGK's tour, Tickets to My Downfall, so that was like 15,000 people every night. And then he brought me out at MSG, you know, and so I've gotten to play, like, amphitheaters, arenas, and then I got to play the stadium with Millennium. And it was just, like, I really needed it, honestly, personally, because I hadn't done, like, a show in a long time, and it's really nice just to get out there and feel what music is again, you know, because you get lost in your own personal shit. So thank you, Millennium. He's also the nicest guy in the world, and he puts on an amazing show. Those fans, like, I love my fans and, like, the whole rock scene and anybody that listens to my music, but EDM fans go stupid. Like, they're just rolling face in the crowd. It's like 70,000 people just absolutely out of their mind, and they don't care. They don't care what they're hearing as long as they're hearing something. And
exactly.
And they were locked in, so really grateful.
Dude, that's awesome. And I mean, you performed alongside some of the greats out there, some of the new greats, some of the greats that have been established. I mean, who was out there with you? It was Teddy, Gaskarth, Avril, and Jxdn.
Yeah, literally. Dude, the lineup was crazy. He had a lot of people. Also, like Ian Dior, like my homie, like Swayco was out there too.
Oh, damn.
All Time Low, you know, everybody. It was cool as fuck. I don't know. It's crazy to think when you look around in a moment like that, when you're in a stadium, you're like, damn, how did I get here? You know? And it was one of those moments for me where, like, my whole life flashed back, and I remember being 17 and being like, I'm going to move to LA and become a singer. And then I'm here in SoFi, and I'm like, wow, dude, it's just such a blessing. And it's been a long journey, but I'm so glad that I haven't given up, you know, throughout all of it.
Hell yeah. I'm also glad you haven't given up because I've been waiting for the sophomore record since like 3 days after the debut record dropped.
A long time, dude. And these last 3 years were so much was packed into them that it felt much longer for me personally, you know? So it really feels like I went to almost hell and back, you know, and came back and made this album, which is really cool. I wouldn't be able to do it though without like Travis and Andrew. Without a doubt, like I called Travis and I was like, dude, right when this whole situation happened when I was trying to change my name back, and I was like, yo, because I'd made like 45 songs, like pop trap records.
Yeah.
And that I don't know if anyone will ever hear ever. And I'll send them to you. They're funny.
I can't wait.
And I called Travis. I was like, dude, I fucked up. And he was like, yeah, like, it's all good. And I was like, I really don't want to make a single hit on this album. I just want to make a good album. And he was like, perfect, we can do that. So we went in, and that was probably 6 months into the process. And then within a month and a half, we had this full brand new album. So that's really cool.
And Andrew Goldstein, of course,
Yeah,
right?
Andrew Goldstein.
The
Andrew and
best.
Travis are, honestly, it's the craziest. We feel like a band when we make music, because it's just like Andrew's on the guitar, Travis on the drums, and they just look at each other. They're like, let's jam. And then they jam, and then I like just sing them. I don't know. It just feels very organic, and so I'm very grateful for them. I wouldn't be able to put out any music that I have without them, so thank you.
That's awesome. And then between the debut record and this record that's about to drop soon, dude, you say it's 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You lived 15 different lives in those
So
3
many,
You
bro.
lived like 4 different artist careers in that 3-year span. So you can't just look at it as 3 years.
Yeah, a lot definitely happened. I think the thing that hit me hardest was the kind of the silence after, the storm, and that's where really the concept When the Music Stops came from. Is not only did I get off like 3 tours that were crazy. I did like around 100 shows, 150 shows throughout like those 2 years.
Damn.
And then I got done, and then obviously my best friend passed away, and it just felt like silence. It felt like the music had completely stopped, and so that really fucked me up. And it's also been a very spiritual journey for me, because music is everything to me. Like, it changed my life. It gave me purpose. So losing that love for it, or that connection that I had, was so mind-boggling. And so it was actually a lot of intentional mental work over the past year and a half, trying to get back to the point where I felt the music again, and I can happily say I feel it again. So that it's perfect timing for the album to come out, but there's a whole story behind the meaning,
I love that. And that's why you're here to tell that story.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on this record, 17 songs, and you have, 5 to 7 interludes that aren't interludes. They're beautiful short songs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do. I really wanted to. So if you listen through the album, 17, it's an odd number, but basically every song has like a sister song, a brother-sister song, because me and Travis were talking, and we were like, man, I hate when I listen to a song and I'm like, wow, I want to feel the same way that this song makes me feel. It doesn't have to sound the same, it's just the feeling. And so we were like, why don't we just make 2 of each? And so there's a lot of different genres on here. And the way I connect them is through those smaller songs, through like the Baccarats or the Lost Angels. I start off the whole album with like a minute-long song. And I think that it just allows me, again, to not put myself in a box, which everyone does. And so when I was making these songs, if I felt it and I was like, this is the feeling it's giving me, we went with it. We weren't thinking about like the hit material, if it was going to hit radio or not. That's also why I put out When the Music Stops, the song, out first, because I wanted to set the precedent of like, I've learned my mistake of chasing that sensation of like success, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I wanted to put out that song to me is very theatrical, it's not like a song you'd put on radio. So I wanted to set the precedent early, you know what I mean?
That's awesome. And you do hear connections between the first record and this record, but dude, you branched out so much. Like, the pop punk songs got even more pop punk.
Even more about
which is like,
straight up.
your scream is incredible on the record. I think I texted you a couple days ago when I first listened to the record. I'm like, dude, this fucking record, I don't want to text you too much because I don't want to ruin the interview. But my God.
It honestly, I think we talked to Allison Hagendorf as well, and she said something similar. I think that when you do something and you're like, oh, this is going to fucking work, right? Because it's already worked before, that's a bad place to be in. And I didn't want to get in that place again. So with the pop punk shit that I did, there's probably like 3 songs on that record. I tried to stray away from just pop punk too. I wanted to show all rock music, because I think all of rock music is really going to like skyrocket in the next 2 years. A mix of like hip hop and rock, I'm calling it right now. Also dance music and rock, which is wink wink, I'll show you. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to give my fans that feeling of like, I'm at when we were young, and my artist Jxdn has the pop punk anthem. I wanted to give that to my fans. But other than that, I really just wanted to try everything. There's like shit that sounds like the Strokes, shit that sounds like Deftones, you know what I mean? There's a lot of like indie records too as well. So I just wanted to, every song that I made, I wasn't thinking about if it was right or wrong. I just cared about how it made me feel. And all the songs on the album really make me feel something.
That's awesome. I was talking to someone, I forgot who, and I'm like, yo, the Jxdn record is going to be a beast when it comes out. They're like, you heard it? I'm like, yeah, it's fucking good.
Rick Rubin. That's who you were talking to.
Exactly. And they're like, how would you describe it? I'm like, if Jack Antonoff went in for Nevermind by Nirvana.
Oh, let's go, dude. Wow, what the fuck?
And
okay, I'll take that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, forget everything I just said. I'll just take that.
Yeah.
But no, like, it's cool because you have the grunginess, but you have the poppiness, and you have the catchiness. You have everything in one.
I really wanted to do that. I don't know. I think that Travis is a big, like, wisdom meter for me, you know? And Travis he's honestly, like, the most punk motherfucker I know. Like, genuinely to the core. Like, he just doesn't give a fuck. But with that, he sees opportunities in front of him that most people would be closed off to, you know. And so when we have records like How Far on the album, or even Drugs, which is going to be the focus track of the album, they're definitely like more pop oriented songs, but they come from an alternative and very like gritty place. And so I think that's an amazing combination, and that's what I wanted to do with like my acoustic records, because I do want to show off the comfortability that music like that can give, and it reaches like the masses for sure, while still making it, you know, I've learned my lesson of like just doing what other people want. So I made it all very like personal to me, you know. That's
awesome. It does sound like a very personal diary type vibe, especially the way you start out the album with the acoustic track. And dude, it's a beautiful track. It sets such a tone, and like I think at the time when I heard that, I had only heard When the Music Stops. So like going from When the Music Stops to that to start the record, I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that makes me excited. Thank you. Yeah, I actually made that song, the first song on the album, a day before Cooper passed away.
Really?
And I didn't even know it until probably about a few months ago. I checked my notes when I had looked at the MP3, and yeah, I made it on June 8th, 2022. So crazy. Just, I don't know, everything on the album fell into place, and I couldn't have tried to make it fall into place. That's why I'm really excited about it. This album is so intentionally unintentional, you know? Like, I wanted it just to live and be good music, and it just so happened to build together and be like a body of work, which is really hard to do actually for people who are listening and aren't artists. Or it could be maybe you're an artist in some other vein, but like taking multiple different forms of inspiration and feelings and bringing them together intentionally usually doesn't always make it work, you know? So the fact that this happened so well, I'm really grateful for, and it just shows that, you know, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I wanted to put out so many albums the past 3 years, or so many projects, and I just didn't, and I always wondered why, and now I know, you know. Patience is definitely a virtue, even though that motherfucker sucks, for sure.
It's true.
Yeah.
And with your last headliner, I believe, the last headline tour you did with Beauty School Dropout, like, I don't know how much you guys were posting online about stuff like this or whatnot, but I was blessed enough to say what up to you guys backstage, and there wasn't any crazy shit happening. You and Bardot were at a laptop fucking working and being like, yeah, dude, we can say hi for like 2 minutes and then we'll see you after show. We're working on a song.
Yeah. All we were doing was making music. I don't like to, I've definitely done crazy shit in my life, you know, shit that in a later date we'll talk about. I need more years in between the gap, you know, but tour is not like that for me. Tour is actually incredibly difficult for me personally. That is a big reason why I brought out Beauty School Dropout. Most people kind of like live on the road and they love it, but Beauty School Dropout, they love the road, you know? Like, I talked to Coley, that's where they feel at home, Beepus, you know? But for me, I feel super isolated and alone when I'm on the road for some reason. I don't know, I'm just a very big empath. And, dude, I'm telling you, this dog is perfect. No, it's actually perfect because I'm ADHD. I'd be either this or vaping, so I'm just going to pet the dog. No, but, and so I'm just such an empath. I take that shit very seriously, and my fans also know that, so they come with kind of like this weight to let go of, you know? And so my shows are basically like church. That's what it feels like to me. And so on tour, it's very hard. Like, I feel very isolated and insecure, and so having those boys out there was really important. And this last tour made me realize the value of just like creating music, not just to put out, but for like therapy, right? So we were making those songs every day before my show. It would be 15 minutes before they would go out because they'd go out before me. And I'd be like, come on, just finish this last thing. And Barto's like, I got to go like set up the stage. And so that really made me appreciate music and its ability to like connect you with people, you know? And if I didn't have that, I don't know if I would have made the tour. It was 36 shows, and it was just long, and like I was doing the same album, dude, for my third tour. It was just like a lot. So I'm really excited to go back out on tour again, which I am. And we're about to announce that, I think, in like a few days. So that's really fun.
Ooh. I believe when this interview airs, it'll be announced. So.
Okay, yes. I'm going on tour again. We're doing like 15, maybe 16 shows in the U.S., A markets again, so that's nice. I'm going back to the main cities. And then I'm doing Europe, which I haven't done Europe yet, so I'm really excited about Europe. And then after that, we're talking about South America because, I mean, my fan base in South America is so bizarre. It's really weird. Like, I love South America so much. I don't think people give South America enough credit or like attention. And so I plan to go back there and do a tour.
Hell yeah, that's going to be awesome. Can't wait for the Jxdn World Tour.
Jxdn World Tour.
When the music doesn't stop.
When the music doesn't stop, it keeps going.
Exactly. So I want to talk a little bit about the lyrical content on the record because listening through it, one, I know a lot of the stories are very deeply personal to you. And then there are some metaphorical songs like Stray, which is a good one to bring up while Biggie's in your lap.
Yes. My little dog.
But also, the thing I really enjoy about your songs is you pay homage to the past artists before you. Like I heard the American Idiot reference and a little bit of a Green Day type fill, and then obviously
It Must Suck to Know You. Yeah, that song is so great.
And then also, I counted 2 Blink references this time around. I could be completely wrong. I forget. I counted them, and I knew I counted them, and right before I said it, I'm like, fuck, I blanked.
There's definitely, so the entire album, there's not only just with other artists, but myself. I reference myself a lot in the album.
Really?
Like my own songs. I'm trying to think of, I know there's a specific one that I can't remember right now, but that'll be a fun game for everyone to go figure it out. But yeah, I just think that, so for example, right, like I have a lot of songs that I make and I don't use, right? And then I go back and I listen, I'm like, yo, this pre-chorus or this chorus or this verse or this phrase, this word is so fire, I gotta use it again. So I'll use it and I'll make another song, and then the song will still come out, right? So there's 2 songs. There's a song called Taste Like Heaven. It's called Shit on the album now. That came from a song that I made with, you know, Eric Ron?
Yeah, of course. His studio's right down the block from me.
Yeah. So I'd made that with Eric Ron and Q, my roommate, like 3 years ago.
Oh, you and Q are living together now?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, give him a big hug when you get home. I love that boy so much.
I'm so blessed. We just got a new house. I'm so stoked.
I love that. We're talking about Quentin Griggs for everyone listening.
Yeah, Quentin Griggs. And he's also making some crazy music, dude. Like, this is the thing. I think that, you know, everybody likes to say, you know, what music is or what it isn't or what it should be and who you should be. The whole point of this album for me is that I'm not sure who I am, you know? I'm 23. I moved here when I was 17. I made a lot of crazy decisions, and I learned a lot of lessons. If I knew who I was right now, I'd be an absolute fucking freak. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea, you know? Some days are different, you know? And I think giving myself that grace and understanding that and making that a point of the message is so important for this album because everybody nowadays is so convinced in who they are, you know, including myself, you know, like, oh, I wear this, I do this, I go here, I talk to these people, not knowing that in a year's time, you could possibly be a very different person.
Yeah.
And so they put themselves in this box, and then ultimately that makes people feel so like almost claustrophobic mentally and unsettled and uncomfortable. And I know that because I've lived it. So I with this music, the reason there's so many different genres and options, but they all connect is because like that's life. If you think you have the answers, you don't. And if you think you're following someone who's a leader who says they have the answers, they also don't, you know? So it's just about a give and take and giving yourself forgiveness. And so with that, I used a lot of my old songs, and I used like references from other bands that I loved. And then I used references from like artists like Drake and shit, you know? Like there's no rules. There's no reason to do anything except music makes me feel good. It makes me understand my purpose, and I think it does the same thing for other people. That's why I made the album, you know.
That's awesome, and I can't say it enough. I'm so glad you made this album.
Thank you, dude. Same. I'm really glad to be here. I also appreciate your support. You have no idea.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it may seem given because you're just such a nice guy, but this type of stuff means so much to me because, you know, there's valleys and shit, and I've definitely been going through a valley, but I know that I'm heading somewhere higher with a better view. And I can't wait to look around and see you up there with me, you know, because you've been with me from the start, so I appreciate you.
Man, I'm about to tear up for the first time during an interview. Fuck, man, it's so cool. I mean, I've talked about it in previous interviews we've done. It's just like been very surreal to somehow be aligned with you after my homie Scott. Was friends with Tosh. He's like, yo, you should go see Jxdn and Tosh. They're playing at the Roxy today, and it was your first show. And I'm like,
so crazy,
dude, so insane.
I was looking back at that show, and I was just like, damn, you know, like that's the kid that I strive to be like as the kid that played my first show. There was less than 100 people there, and it was the most bizarre feeling of my life. I felt like I just did fucking, I don't know, like 100,000 person stadium. Not because of anything else except for I really felt the music in that moment, and I didn't care what happened. I just was so happy to be on stage and so happy to sing music that I created. That's really where I'm at again. I love the success of it all, but if I'm being honest, it's really turned me off these years, and the entire industry of like, you go to Spotify and you're like, damn, these people don't actually even fucking care about music, and so it's either you look at yourself and you're like, I'm either going to be a part of the problem or a part of the solution, and I'm hoping to be a part of the solution, which is, music is music. It's always just going to be music.
I could very confidently say you are definitely part of the solution with everything.
Finally, we flipped the script on it. The silver lining playbook, we found it, and it's me.
And I'm going to say this on record and on air just so everyone could reference back to it. There's been no other artists like when you were coming up, so there's no one you could possibly compare yourself to.
Thank you.
Very unique cases.
That is actually so crazy you say that, because when I haven't said this in a while, but people ask like, when you like, how do you want to be remembered? Like, what do you want people to say about you when you go? And I just want to be incomparable. I don't want to be able to be compared to anyone, because it's not that a lot of people do great things, but I just hope that people remember my story. I think I'm here to go through shit. I'm here to be the almost test dummy of sorts for life, so kids can look at me and be like, you know what, I don't have to do the shit he did. I can make my life better. It's possible. It's definitely possible. And so that means a lot to me. Thank you. Of
course. And now with this record and obviously everything you went through in the last year or so, did you find more of a connection to some of the songs while listening back with a sober, clear mind rather than previously?
No, honestly. Being the sobriety part of everything really kind of turned me off towards music in a really weird way. It's just like, I think that the sobriety part was great for my health, right? But I hadn't dealt with like the mental issues that I was going through. So my hormones and stuff were starting to be a little regulated, but I still had that the mental block in my brain, and so that actually just grew more and more. And that's ultimately why I changed my name and did pop music, because I just went manic and I lost my mind, and I was like, this is who I need to be, So I think that rehab is a great thing, and people should definitely try it out. I think that sobriety is a great thing. You should definitely try it out, but listen to your body, and music to me is a great compass for life. And I haven't really been that connected to music, honestly, since I made this album. And I made this album November, December. So it's only been like 5 months since I've felt like that love for music again. And even then, some days it's off. But at this point in my life, like, I moved into a new house. I'm like rolling out these singles. Like, I couldn't feel better. But candidly, yeah, those 9 months of pure sobriety just like absolutely, they wrecked me, because I made it about the wrong things, So, but I'm really glad to have that connection to music again. It means a lot. But crazy time for sure,
Dude, insane.
It's just a crazy life. I love to talk to people about it because, again, like I said, I don't have the answers. I just have what happened to me, So it's cool to like compare and talk to people about their stories and stuff. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And man, it's like just from day one, you were always doing like cool shit, in my opinion. Like, I remember listening to Sirius XM and just hearing, yo, this is Jxdn. Here's my song, Wannabe. I'm stoked. I got in the studio with Lil Aaron and whoever else you said. And just Lil Aaron's name stuck out to me because that's the first time I heard him mentioned on the radio. And I'm like, yo, that's cool as shit. He's shouting out Aaron right now.
Dude, that's another thing I don't think people do enough. I love shouting people out. You know what I mean? Like, I was just talking about my homie, my roommate, and like BSD, the boys. Like, I don't know. I don't see the downfall in other people's success. Like Kel's, MGK, like never once saw my success as taking away from his, And I had a big moment on his tour. Like, I really did. That's where most of my fans in person came from, And he was just so open about like, here, these are your fans. You know what I mean? Like, they're obviously here for me. He wasn't worried about that, but he was like, go out, do your thing, and gain your audience, And so I've just learned that lesson early on. And even on personal stuff, like when I was down bad, like Kels and Travis came to me, and, they were there for me when no one really was. They had no reason to support me. They had no reason to be like, yo, Wiz, this is Jxdn, Like, They had no reason to do that, but they did, and I saw the value in it. So for the rest of my life, I hope to be a person that just lifts other people up, you know, especially in the music industry, especially in the punk world and the rock scene. Like, it's so isolated. Everybody's so fucking doing their own thing. Everybody needs to come together. Another shout out, there's this kid named Asher. His name's Freak. His name's Dirty Fucking Freak on Instagram. You got to check him out, dude. He's absolutely amazing. He makes like metal music to the core. You know what I mean?
That's
like
sick.
But it's also a little mix of like Korn, you know what I mean, and like Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I don't know, he's sick as fuck. I love him. But yeah, music's all about synergy, you know, work together or don't work at all.
Amen. Man, I could talk for hours about how
Same.
nice fucking MGK is too.
Same, brother.
Dude, such a good
It's such a it shows you. It shows you. If you know him personally, it shows you how life can be such a shot in the foot, because it's like he is genuinely one of the sweetest people I've ever met, but he gets such an awful rap online, you know? But he also knows that he's done things in his past that, like, I don't know, it's just shitty that you are just judged from people that never know you. You know what I mean? So I hope to be a voice for people that don't have a voice for themselves. And if Kels is one of those, which I don't think he needs me, but y'all should take it from me. Dude just cares about people, and he loves music so much.
I have to give him and his crew a lot of credit for building my confidence while DJing too. Because like while he was dropping like My Bloody Valentine and all those songs, like right before COVID, we'd always see each other. And dude, the nicest. Got to give a big shout out to him, Rook, Slim,
Danny, bro, Ray, Dante, everybody, the whole crew, bro.
Some of the best.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. Also, it's so crazy to think, like, I don't know, I can't wait to go back in 10 years. Like, Tickets to My Downfall is one of the greatest albums made of all time. And it's just it's funny because it's still so modern and fresh right now, but I'm calling it in 10 years we're going to look back and be like, damn, it changed the world quite literally. I mean, I was a part of it. I saw it firsthand, and like anybody that tries to deny that is so crazy. Like, it was just a game changer. It's why I'm here right now, you know.
And in 11 years we're going back to your debut record.
Oh yeah. We're going back to the debut, the sophomore, and the next one after that.
Exactly. All in beautiful intervals too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So now with the music videos for this record, I'm very curious to see the direction you're going to go with them, because I love all your previous, either way, same word,
Both.
I think. Yeah, music videos. But this one, I have a feeling you're going to have a lot more creative involvement in it and showing, because, I mean, we've seen everything you're capable of doing and the art you're able to create. So I think it'd be a little injustice if you weren't creating on the music video side too.
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot about, like, you know, when you first get into something, you don't want to look stupid and you don't want to look, you know, dumb or ugly or whatever it is. Some people, at least for me, that's how it was. So when I made my music videos, I thought they were cool, but there was always that factor of like, oh, I wanted to look nice, you know? Now I don't feel that way. Like, I've learned the value of not trying to focus on like your appearance, you know? Like, I will always love what I'm wearing, right? That's how I am. But I'm not concerned about how other people feel about it anymore, you know? Same thing with music videos. Like, my first music video, again, I wanted to set the precedent with, like, me naked in that shower and, like, shaving my head. I just wanted to show people, like, I don't care how you see me anymore. I just want you to see me how I want to be seen, you know? And so same thing with What the Hell. Like, I had a fat-ass pimple, you know, and I was just going to leave it, but then I put a Band-Aid on my face, and I was like, oh, it looks so, like, I don't know, it's just weird looking, you know? And I like leaning into that side more than I have previously. And so I'm also very excited to see where the videos go, because we have 17 to make. I'm making one for every single song.
Let's go. That's awesome.
And so, but all really low budget. Like, I talked to my label, and I was like, either get money for 2 videos and make them really big, or I want to make a video for every song. And so we're doing that. Stray's going to be really cool. We have 2 songs, 2 videos coming out with this next drop. I'm not scared to fail, dude. And I have been scared to fail before, and I know what it feels like. And the key to success is not being scared to fail, because when you fail, it doesn't feel like failure. It just feels like the process, you know? And that changes the energy about everything. So that's how I feel about the music videos. I'm going to try bizarre shit. I want to do shit that makes people kind of angry. I also want to make shit that makes people kind of excited and, like, happy about life again, you know? All of the above. And really capture the feeling that the songs give themselves. You know, I just want them to go hand in hand.
Oh, man, I can't wait to make the connections between music videos and everything, because I know it's telling one big 17-song story.
It is. It's a story from when I put out Tell Me About Tomorrow till now. That's what the story is in my life, and it's just real life situations. Every song is real. I do like to go in and out of talking literally and talking metaphorically because I think it's fun, you know. So it's kind of, I like to also leave it up to the viewer to like take it how you take it, you know. If you hear a song and you're like, he's saying this fucked up shit, I want you to believe that. And if someone hears the same song and they think, oh, he's being so sweet, I want you to believe that as well, because it can be anything, you know.
That's amazing. And I got a few final questions for you before we get going and play another song
Please.
off of your record, When the Music Stops, your sophomore release. That is going to be a fucking beast of a record.
It's gonna be a beast.
So just because of the person you are and just how much I've gotten to know you over the last couple of years, it's very admirable to see you kind of have the same family and same crew around you. And I want to kind of talk about how important that is. Like seeing Hunter do one of the most recent music videos or creatives with you, Tosh and Kenji there, like Kenji doing this session, had Kenji in studio for the first time. One of my favorite people I've gotten to meet.
So amazing.
And just talk about that and how important it is, because you are, I would say you're a direct reflection of the people you surround yourself with, and anyone I've met in the Jxdn camp, I couldn't say anything but the most positive things
that means
about
a
them.
lot. I think that's been intentional from the beginning. I don't like, look, I am a crazy person, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, but you know, I've done some fucked up shit for sure. You know, anybody that's watching that's experienced that, just so you know. But I have learned and I've grown, and throughout all of it, I know that I'm a kind person because I love kindness. That's just kind of how I grew up with my mom, and I think kindness is such an important tool, especially in a business or an industry, you know, that people overlook. And so when I first met with everyone, Tosh, Kenji, you know, Shannon, Hunter, even down to, you know, my tour managers and stuff, and my stagehands, like, they're all very kind people. And it's a great balance because we're able to be really kind, and then we can go on the bus with ourselves and be fucked up with each other.
Yeah.
You know? But I've seen the literal benefit of just going up to stagehands at the venue and saying, thank you, have a good night. And they're like, what do you mean thank you? And you're like, oh, just thank you for your help. And they're like, no one's ever come up to me and said thank you. And I'm like, damn, well, that's a shitty world. So the first time I experienced that, I was like, that can't happen. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing all this for me at a show, and then I'm just going to leave and dip and act like they don't exist. Like, it's only like 7 or so people at the venues that I was playing, you know, just go say thank you. And I noticed that my whole entire camp did that. And after seeing that, like, it changes the energy of the work that you're around, you know? It's no longer, there's no negative connotations. And so I'm very grateful for everyone around me, you know, even more than just work. Like, they would be there for me in an instant in real life, and in the lives of everyone inside the group too. So I'm really actually in this point, I'm trying to lean into that, because friendships are so valuable, dude. You know, things come and go, but true friends really can last a lifetime. And so if you are at a point in your life where you feel like you don't have any friends, stop searching for friends and start searching for kind people, you know. And it's probably a good direction to head towards.
I love that answer. I got to give a big shout out to Shannon. She's awesome. She's
amazing.
She's made this possible and everything too. So
absolutely
huge shout out to her. And man, yeah, like I've had people come up to me after introducing you, be like, "Yo, this is my homie Jxdn." And they're like, "Wait, that's that same kid that's online all the time?" Like, we've never met a kid this nice before. And I'm like, same exact kid.
I think it's so funny. You know, yeah, same way. Even with like some of my fans, you know, or not fans of me, but fans of others, and they hear about me, you know. I think that is a common thing where they'll come up and they're like, damn, like, I didn't really know that you were like this. And I think I've done a poor job of kind of expressing myself online, but I don't know anyone that does a great job of it, you know? Like,
true.
It's just, like, even if I tried to come off nice, I think people would be like, oh, this guy's fucking lying, you know, whatever it is. So I've kind of just left that up, and I think that that's why in person, you know, mouth-to-mouth type of stuff is really important, and I hope to meet. Someone asked me the other day, if you could meet every fan of yours, would you? And I genuinely I would 100% do it. I've met a lot of them. I do my meet and greets before the show, and then I'll perform, and then I try to go outside after and talk to the fans. I don't know. I'm just in love. Like, the act of kindness is such a crazy thing. Like, I'm not even just talking about saying nice words, you know? Like, I'll say some fucked up shit to you just because, I don't know, life is funny. I don't know. But, like, opening a door, saying thank you, saying yes sir, no ma'am. Everyone hates that shit out here, but I'm like, I don't know, it just doesn't hurt to take the literal millimeter of a step to just like be like, hey, thanks, you know. And it just, people are mind blown. They're like, oh my god. So if you get anything out of this podcast, fuck my music. Just go be nice to somebody, all right? You know? Because that's the whole point of the album anyway. It's just fucking, I don't know. You know, I think that a good smile can get you a long way.
Hell yeah. And I love that. And I don't know a single room where 99.9% of people are smiling as soon as Jxdn walks in. I know if I said 100%, you'd call me a liar.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Hell yeah. And I just got to give Jada a very big thank you for coming by the Fishman Spectacular and playing Happy Holidays, You Bastard 6 times in a row. That was a highlight of a lot of people's night.
That was cool, huh? Come on. That was fire, dude. I don't know. I also, all the other acts did great. They sounded awesome. But yeah, when you have an opportunity, shit needs to just get a little bit more rowdy. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little fucking antsy, and I'm like, why would I go up and play one song once when I can do the same song 6 times in a row? And they're just looking at me like, dude, it's over. It's not funny. And I'm like, I'm not doing it to be funny. I'm doing it because I was born. I was born to... I don't know. It's the perfect song to play 6 times. And we just kept getting faster.
So good.
And Tosh was hammered on the drums. And we were... I honestly probably could have got him to do it like 4 more times, but he was tired.
Yeah. No, Tosh needed a break after that night.
Bro, it was funny.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming by. I couldn't thank you anymore, or can't thank you enough for coming by and sharing your new record with me so long in advance. When's the actual release date? We haven't said that. We should probably say that.
Actual release date for the album is June 28th. Followed by the tour literally days after, so it's really perfect. And it's also, you know, that's my best friend's birthday, so it's gonna be a special day, and I'm glad I got to get it done.
That's amazing. I can't wait. What an honor to have that special date with you as well, and I can't wait to have you on the show next time when I could talk about how dope it was to see some of these songs go #1 and the record do incredible.
Thank you so much, dude. You got to come to this release party we're planning. It's so crazy. Obviously, you'll be there, but like, it's like the listening party for the album. I'll give a little sneak peek. It's just like, it's crazy shit. I don't know if anyone's ever done it before, but it's like immersive art. It's crazy. Yeah, so stay tuned.
I can't wait for that. You know I'll be there.
Yeah, of course you will.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, Jxdn, how can everyone keep up with you? What's the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
Either Jxdn or Jxdn Hostler. I mean, if you search up both, it'll probably come up. Instagram, Twitter, you know, TikTok, because TikToks are fucking lives these days, you know. I don't know, might get banned 6 months.
Hey,
shit, I'm fucking ready for that. TBH, whatever, you know.
I'm not going to say I was at brunch and I was sitting outside recently and I heard someone go, yeah, man, I've just been trying to get all my TikTok followers on Instagram and it's just not working. And I'm like, I didn't want to hear this at fucking 11 a.m. on a Sunday while I'm trying to eat my eggs.
Bro, look, this is what I say to people too. Look, I know I got lucky, right? Like, I used the platform to get into my career. So, hey, thankful for it. But that's not right now. Right now is a different time. And if it's going to get banned, then sayonara.
Amen.
TikTok.
I still don't know how to use it properly and I might never know how.
Look, there's some funny shit on there, but I think it would just make people realize, like, oh, like, you know, life exists.
Yep.
Let me go pet a dog.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Well, I want to give you shit so badly right now, so I'm going to do it.
Please.
Will I ever get the follow back on Instagram?
Oh, my God.
I saw that this morning, and I was like, wait a second.
My immediate hand to my phone.
He throws Biggie off his lap.
That's actually crazy. Hold on, I gotta get it. That's crazy. I didn't know.
But I will say, Jxdn has answered every single DM I've sent him.
Okay,
every beat or whatever.
Right? Bro, fish, that's crazy. All right, well, it's done. You just saw it here in live action. Hey, if you believe in yourself, you know what I mean, you can get a follow back.
I had to wait till minute 38 of the interview Hell yeah. Well, dude, I love you. Congratulations on everything. Bro. You have so much to be proud of. This record's going to absolutely change the trajectory of everything. Everyone's going to drop their jaws to the floor. You might have to pay for some dental bills.
Hey, I'm down. I got to pay for my own, too.
Oof.
These veneers, bro.
They look great.
Thank you.
Great for radio.
They're great for radio.
Yeah, I'm glad we're filming this one. Hell yeah. Awesome, Jxdn. Congratulations again. The record is, once again, called When the Music Stops. It's out on June 28th, and I want to play one more song off of it, and I think What the Hell might be the one.
Run it. What the hell?
Gone Fishkin is live on idobi Radio.